Today I'll give a brief outline on the division of history of English literature. History means a story of the past, its people, kings and queens, events, wars, victories, defeats, etc. In history of English literature, we will learn not so much about kings and queens and events as we did in history, but about the literature, that is the books, poems, novels, dramas, periodicals, write-ups, etc. that were written at particular times or during different ages. In the history of English literature, first of all, there was the Old English period or the Anglo-Saxon period from 450 BC to 1066 BC. The period used to be known as the Dark Ages mainly because written sources for the early years of Saxon invasion were very few. However, most historians now prefer the terms Early Middle Ages or Early Medieval period. It was a time of war, of the breaking up of Roman Britannia into separate kingdoms, a time of religious conversion and continuous battles against a new set of invaders, the Vikings. Then from 1066 to 1500 came the Middle English period. Up to this time, the English spoken would seem to us like a foreign language. This kind of Old English language was spoken roughly after the Norman conquest until the late 15th century. The invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg in the year 1439 made it necessary for a standard alphabet to be used. This alphabet was known as the Chancery Standard, Chancery, Chancery Standard. Chaucer began writing his Canterbury Tales in the year 1387 and continued writing till his death in 1400. No text in his own hand exists, but a surprising number of copies survive from the 1500s, more than 80 of them. The writings of Chaucer further stabilized the English language of that time. Next came the Renaissance period from the year 1500 to 1600. The term Renaissance means rebirth. The movement had its origin in Italy and it gradually spread throughout Europe. The movement had significant influence over the English literature. It was also around this time that Martin Luther started the movement of Protestantism when he nailed his 95 Theses in Wittenberg in the year 1517. Shakespeare, Marlowe, Webster, Johnson, Philip Sidney, Edmund Spenser, John Donne and John Milton, among others, were predominant in this period. The authorized version of the Bible was brought out in the year 1601. After this age came the Neoclassical period from the year 1600 to the year 1785. This time period is broken down into three parts: the Restoration period, the Augustan period, and the Age of Johnson. Writers of the Neoclassical period tried to imitate the classical writings of the Greeks and Romans. That's why it is called the Neoclassical Age or the New Classical Age.